Hi everyone and welcome to this new video where I'm going to talk about the issues related to practicing ear training without following a proper ear training method. Well, of course there are some obvious issues related to that, but in this video I'm going to focus specifically on the most hidden but really significant issues and downsides related to not following a proper ear training method. So keep watching because I think it's going to be very interesting to you. Before I go ahead with this video, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like down below. That would be really helpful for us, so don't forget to do it, and thank you for that. Okay, let's get back to the topic of the video. Basically, the most obvious issue that's related to not following a proper ear training method is that you run the risk of practicing exercises that are either ineffective exercises, so exercises that are built around a not true or an unrealistic understanding of how your training skills develop, or that you practice exercises that might be effective but are not adequate to your current level. So what happens often is that students practice exercises that are far too difficult for their current abilities, and so they don't see any improvement because it's like really trying to run without being able to walk yet. So it's something that really doesn't help you in any way. Ideally, what you need to have in any learning process of any topic, matter, subject, whatever, is the right exercise for your current level. Because as you grow and develop more skills and you become more competent in any given area, you need to push the bar a little higher and higher and higher. And that's how you improve, and that's how you become an expert and you master a skill, right? I think this is pretty straightforward and obvious. So this is just the main reason that everyone knows and that everyone is aware of about what are the benefits of having a proper ear training method. But there are some very significant downsides that are not usually taken into account from most people when evaluating whether they want to have some sort of guidance or a method to help them better face the learning process. In specific, there are two issues that are often neglected and not taken into account that are related to practicing ear training without following a proper ear training method. The first issue is related to trust. Basically, if you don't have a proper, solid method, a proper approach to follow, you're going to lack trust in what you do. You won't trust the process because you don't really know if the exercises you're practicing will give you the results you desire. So this creates a state of uncertainty, and not having trust in the process will cause another issue, that is lacking motivation. You won't have enough motivation because maybe you see a few days or weeks, even months, where you're not making any significant progress. Then you will start doubting yourself. You will doubt if either it's you that you have some issues within yourself and you can't develop skills any further. You will doubt maybe I'm doing the wrong exercises. Maybe the skill should not be developed right now. Maybe it's too early. Maybe I have some wrong expectations, or maybe I'm trying to develop something that's not possible to develop because there are some skills, as we all know, like perfect pitch, that can only be developed in early childhood. So the important thing to understand is that, especially for highly complex topics such as ear training, which is a very complex and deep topic, not having a method will surely bring you to a point where you will start second guess yourself, will start doubt yourself, will start hitting a wall, and you won't be able to easily understand and quickly understand what needs to be fixed. So in your training specifically, improvements are always slow and gradual. It's really like learning a language. You won't expect to learn a language in 1 month. It's impossible. No one is able to do that. Since these improvements are gradual and there's no way to speed them up to a certain point, it's very difficult to develop these skills without the help of someone who has already went through all these issues and has helped maybe multiple people solving these issues and developing the same skills that you're looking for. So having trust in the method, in the process, in everything that you do is a big part of developing these skills. Because otherwise it's so complex and so overwhelming that you will surely get very frustrated, and most people entirely drop the study of ear training exactly because of this issue, because they don't trust the process and they don't see improvements, and by not seeing improvements and results, they lose their motivation, and so they end up quitting the entire thing and they stop studying and practicing ear training. So lack of trust in the process is surely a very sneaky problem, but it's a very important one to consider, because this issue alone could lead you to lose hope in your ability to develop these skills, which are crucial to all musicians. Ultimately, this can even lead you to stop pursuing your dream. And this is something that shouldn't happen, I think. So this is a very important reason why you should consider following a proper ear training method if you're really serious about music, if you really care about it, if you want to have a career in music, or maybe you want to keep music as a hobby, but you want to be a great musician. Okay, the second not so obvious issue related to practicing your training without following a proper method is not setting the right expectations. Of course, if you just practice a few random exercises without having a clear understanding of the big picture, so all of the different areas and skills that are important to develop in order to have a great musical ear, the first thing that is going to happen is that you will set some wrong expectations of the results that you're going to get from those exercises. Generally speaking, the common thing that happens is that people expect to develop great skills out of one exercise or two exercises. These kinds of expectations are very common and they are totally unrealistic, because your training, again, is a complex matter, is a complex subject, and there are multiple skills that always work together, and by just practicing one or two exercises or even a couple more, you won't develop, you won't improve in all of these areas, and so you will always have some issues in some part, in some areas of your training skills. But not only that, these false expectations are really problematic when it comes to evaluating whether the exercises that you're practicing are being effective or not. That's simply because since your expectations are higher than what they should be, you will see all the exercises as ineffective, and you will always think that these exercises are not going to bring you the results that you desire. But this is not true, because in a properly done method, every exercise has a limited range of action. Basically, the improvement you get from that exercise usually are limited. So you improve a lot, maybe, but in one single aspect, in one single area, and you have other areas to work on, and you're not improving them by practicing that exercise. This issue could only be solved by simply having someone else who's an expert in the field telling you what expectations are okay for that exercise. So basically, setting the expectations yourself is the wrong way to do it. You will need someone else to tell you, okay, you practice this exercise for this amount of time and you expect some improvement within this range. This is the only way to really solve this false expectations issue. And trust me, this is not a trivial issue, because setting false expectations, setting expectations that are by far too high for what you're currently doing and for your current level, is going to really crush your motivation, is going to make you feel very frustrated. And again, as it happens for the trust issue, it can even lead you to lose hope in your ability to develop these skills, and it can lead you to stop pursuing your dream. So I know that these are not obvious issues, but these two things, like having trust in the process, having trust in the method and in the learning process, and having the right expectations for what you're currently doing, are extremely important things, exactly as having the right exercise for your current level and practicing the right exercise for your current level. And this could also be applied to different subjects than your training. But for such a complex and deep matter as your training, it's very important to take these two aspects, trust and expectations, into account when evaluating whether to follow a proper ear training method or to go the do-it-yourself way. In order to better understand that, let's make a parallel with language. As we all know, when we want to learn a foreign language, what we do is that we take some lessons with a teacher. We go talk to some native speakers. We take grammar lessons. We take lessons in pronunciation and things like that. So as you see, it's very uncommon that someone starts to learn a language by himself without any help from another person or a teacher. And it should be the same with ear training, because as I'm sure you know, developing great ear training skills is not easier than learning a foreign language. Not at all. Indeed, ear training is a very complex matter, and because of this reason, it should be studied in a guided way. So just ask you this question. If in learning a foreign language you would ask for the help of a teacher, why you don't do the same for ear training, for developing ear training skills? The answer is of course up to you, but it's a question that I think it's important to ask yourself. So I hope that everything I said was clear to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you're interested in ear training and you're serious about developing a great musical ear, I really suggest you check out our free workshop. You will find the link to it in the description section below. In this free workshop, you will be able to see a few exercises included in our method, and you will also be able to test your skills so you will better understand what exercises to practice based on your current level. That being said, I suggest you check out our website where you will also find our other courses. Again, don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe to the channel below. That's all for this video. I thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.